After 70, life doesn't give you a manual, but what if it could offer you something better? A quiet reminder of everything you already know, deep in your heart, but maybe needed help remembering. You've spent decades taking care of everyone else. Now you're wondering,
What about me? What do I do with this next chapter?
in this video, we're not here to tell you to be young again. We're here to walk with you through 12 gentle, powerful reminders about how to let go, live simpler, feel seen again, and maybe, for the first time in a long time, feel whole. If even one of these messages speaks to you, you'll know this wasn't just a video. It was a quiet turning point. So stay with us, because everything ahead was made for your heart. Part 1. True beauty isn't in the mirror, it's in how you live after 70. Dear friend, after turning 70, many women start to believe their most beautiful years are behind them, but that's not true. Because real beauty isn't in your skin or your hair. A woman is like a precious gem. Every wrinkle tells a story. Every quiet gaze holds a lifetime of wisdom. A woman with compassion and life experience, she's a treasure no gold can match. We were once taught that beauty was everything, that a woman's appearance is her husband's fortune. So we spent years trying to look good, not for ourselves, but to meet others' expectations. But here's the truth. After 70, how you see yourself matters more than how anyone else sees you. Yes, makeup can make you feel fresher, but used the wrong way, it can age you by 5 years. Real beauty is choosing what makes you feel confident and comfortable. And please remember, you are not just a wife, not just a mother, not just a cook. You are you, a woman with her own light, dreams, and voice. As we say,
Outer beauty fades, inner beauty shines forever.
true elegance is 80% from within and only 20% on the outside. What you believe, what you understand, how you treat others, that's the glow no product can ever replace. And if you feel that truth stirring in your heart, just type 1 in the comments. We'd love to know how old you are and what beauty means to you now. Your voice might inspire someone else. In part 2, we'll talk about something that weighs down so many women, not just in their homes, but in their hearts, and how letting go of it can give you back the peace you've always deserved. Part 2. Letting go of things can lighten your heart. After a lifetime of working hard and taking care of others, it's natural to accumulate many things: old clothes, unused gifts, magazines, and keepsakes from the past. But sometimes, all those things don't just take up space in your home, they take up space in your mind too. Have you ever spent too much time looking for something? Or felt uneasy just walking into a cluttered room? Those heavy feelings often come from holding on to what you no longer need. One 74-year-old woman told us,
I held on to too many things, not because I needed them, but because I was afraid to forget, afraid to let go. But one day I realized, keeping old things wasn't helping me enjoy the life I have now.
so she started small: one drawer, one shelf, one room. Each time she asked herself,
Does this still bring me joy? Do I really use this now?
if the answer was no, she thanked the item and gently let it go. And you know what happened? Her home felt lighter, her heart felt freer. She invited friends over more often. She found room to plant flowers, to breathe, to enjoy simple peace. Letting go isn't just about throwing things away. You can give your unused clothes, books, and belongings to someone who truly needs them. That way you're honoring the usefulness of each item and passing on its value. Because when your surroundings are simpler, your spirit can rest easier. And after spending so many years caring for others, maybe now is the time to care gently for yourself. So now that your heart has a little more space to breathe, what would happen if you gave that same space to your peace of mind? In part 3, we'll talk about one habit many women over 70 carry, not in their hands, but in their hearts, and how learning to release it can bring back joy, energy, and calm you didn't know was missing. Part 3. Some things aren't worth carrying anymore. When we were younger, we often got upset by things people said or did. A small comment could hurt for days. A misunderstanding could stay in our heart for years. And sometimes we tried to fix problems that weren't even ours, just to keep everyone happy. But after 70, we begin to see things more clearly. We realize this truth: not everything needs our attention. Not every problem is ours to solve. Imagine 2 adult children arguing over something small. In the past, you might have stepped in, tried to fix it, make peace, but later you felt tired, even sad, because sometimes helping too much pulls us into stress we don't need. Here's what we've learned. Peace is a choice, and after a life of caring for others, it's okay to care for your own calm heart. There are four main challenges we all deal with: money, relationships, health, and our inner world. Of those four, only one is truly in our control: our inner world, our thoughts, our peace. The rest, money, people, health, they change all the time. But when we learn to be calm on the inside, we can face anything on the outside with strength and gratitude. So maybe it's time to let go of some heavy emotions, not because they don't matter, but because you matter more. When you forgive, you sleep better. When you let go, you make space for joy. And when your heart is lighter, so is your life. So now, we'd love to hear from you. What helps you feel more peaceful after 70? Do you have a simple practice, a mindset shift, or a small habit that brings you calm? If you do, please share it in the comments below. You never know who might need your wisdom today, because sometimes just one insight can change how someone sees their whole life. And now, let's move to part 4, where we'll talk about something powerful: how saying no more often can help you say a bigger yes to the life that truly feels right. Part 4. Saying no can be the most loving thing you do. For most of our lives, we were taught to say yes. Yes to family. Yes to friends. Yes to every invitation, every favor, every little request, even when we were tired, even when our hearts whispered, "I don't want to." But here's a quiet truth. Every yes to someone else is a no to something else. And often that something else is you. We once spoke to a lovely 76-year-old woman named Janet. She said,
I thought saying yes made me a kind person, but it also made me disappear in my own life.
Janet spent her days helping others, babysitting grandkids, organizing events, keeping everyone else's life running smoothly. But she felt empty, because she never gave herself time to rest, or dream, or just be. Then one day she tried something new. She paused, she checked in with herself, and she asked,
Do I really want to do this? Or am I afraid to disappoint?
and when the answer was no, she politely said no, not with guilt, but with grace. She started reclaiming her mornings. She took walks, planted flowers, sat quietly with a cup of tea, and little by little, she came back to herself. You see, after 70, you don't owe anyone a packed calendar. You don't have to prove your worth by staying busy. You've already given so much. Now is your time to receive. So the next time someone asks you for your time, your energy, your presence, ask yourself first, will this bring me peace? Will this add joy to my day? If not, it's okay to say no, because sometimes the most loving answer is the one that sets you free. Part 5. Lifelong learning, sharing quiet gifts every day. Dear friend, many people think that after 70, learning is over. But the truth is, as long as you keep learning, you keep living. Learning doesn't mean going back to school. It can be as simple as learning to listen to yourself, trying a new recipe, reading a new book, or finally figuring out how to use your phone to video call the grandkids. Lifelong learning is like a gentle flame. It keeps your mind bright, your heart young, and your days full of meaning. Because when your mind stays curious, your spirit stays alive. One 78-year-old woman told us,
Each day I learn something new, even something small, and I feel like I still have so much to give.
and you do, because every day you're not just learning, you're giving. A warm smile to someone at the store, a kind word to a neighbor, a cup of tea for a tired friend. These are gifts. You don't need wealth to make someone's day brighter. Your joy, your kindness, your presence are treasures in themselves. So if you're still curious, still open, still sharing little pieces of your heart, you're still growing in the most beautiful way. Learning is a lifelong path. It's the light that nourishes your mind and the spark that makes life feel meaningful, no matter your age. What's something you've been learning lately, or a small way you've shared your light with someone else? If you feel like sharing, leave a comment. Your story might be the quiet wisdom someone else needed today. Part 6, Inner Peace, is the real power after 70. As we grow older, life gently teaches us something important. We can't control everything. We can't stop our bodies from changing. We can't prevent loved ones from making their own choices. We can't fix every relationship or predict what tomorrow brings. But there's one thing we can control: and it's the most powerful of all, our inner peace. So many of us spend years trying to fix problems around us, worrying about money, relationships, or health. And while those things do matter, they are often out of our hands. What's always within reach is how we respond, with calm, with understanding, with grace. Think of life like a big circle. Around that circle are four common struggles we all face: money, relationships, health, and our inner world. But here's the truth. Only one of those truly belongs to you, your inner world. That's the part you can choose, shape, and care for. So instead of trying to control everything, focus on what brings you peace. A quiet walk in the morning, breathing deeply with your hand on your heart, saying, "It's okay, I've done my best for today." Because peace doesn't come from fixing the outside, it comes from tending to your heart inside. And when you live from this place of calm, you become a safe space for yourself and for others. You smile more, sleep better, love deeper, and life becomes simpler, even sweeter. So the next time life feels uncertain, remember this: you don't need to have all the answers. You just need to return to your breath, to your values, to the beautiful truth that peace starts with you. And we're so grateful you're here. If today's message touched something in you, if it reminded you that your life, your voice, your kindness still matter, just type the number 1 in the comments. It's a simple way to say, "I'm here, I'm listening, and I'm still learning." We read every single one, and your response helps us bring you more stories like this. Stories that feel like home, like warmth, like hope. See you in the next video. Until then, take good care of yourself and keep being the gentle light this world needs. Part 7. Embrace joy, not judgment. You've earned it. At this age, you've probably heard 100 voices telling you what you should or shouldn't do. You're too old to wear that. You shouldn't travel alone. Why are you trying something new now? But here's the truth. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your joy. One woman in our community, her name is Esther, and she's 76, recently dyed her hair a bold silver lilac. Not to impress anyone, but because it made her feel radiant. When someone commented,
"Aren't you too old for that?"
she smiled and replied,
Too old for what happiness?
"That's the spirit." After 70, joy is your birthright, and it's time to protect it fiercely. If you want to dance in your kitchen to your favorite old song, dance. If you want to wear bright colors that make you feel alive, wear them. If you want to try painting, singing, writing, or learning a new language, start today. You don't need permission to feel vibrant. So many women spent decades taking care of others, being the caregiver, the peacekeeper, the planner. But this chapter of life is about coming home to yourself. It's about laughing without guilt, choosing what truly lights you up, and letting go of rules that were never really yours. And here's something powerful to remember. Joy isn't loud. Sometimes it's a quiet moment with a cup of tea, a memory that makes you smile, a walk in the park with no agenda. Joy lives in the present, not in the approval of others. So tell us, what's one small thing you'll do today, just for joy? If you're ready to live more freely, just type 1 in the comments. And in Part 8, we'll explore how to stay connected, not just to others, but to the deep, quiet truth within you. Because peace begins on the inside, and your wisdom deserves to be heard. Part 8. The deepest connection begins within. There's a kind of silence that feels heavy. Not the peaceful, restful kind, but the one that settles in when we stop feeling truly seen. Maybe your children are busy, maybe your friends have moved away or grown apart. Maybe your days are quieter now, but your inner world is still alive and full. Here's something we rarely say out loud. Loneliness doesn't always come from being alone. It comes from not feeling known, not just for who you were, but for who you still are. But here's the beautiful truth. The deepest connection doesn't start with someone else. It starts with you. Take a moment to pause and ask yourself, what part of me have I pushed aside to keep the peace? What dream or joy did I quietly let go of because I thought it was too late? You are not just someone's mother, wife, or neighbor. You are a whole, beautiful, evolving soul. And you are still worthy of curiosity, joy, and tenderness, especially from yourself. One woman shared,
After 70, I stopped asking who still thought of me. I started asking, what do I think of myself? That changed everything.
So today, we invite you to do something simple and sacred. Be gentle with yourself. Be forgiving of the days you felt tired, the words you never said, the things you once wished you'd done. You did your best. You are still becoming. Let your inner voice be kind. Let your own company be a comfort, not a criticism. Because the more you connect with yourself, the more peace you feel, even when no one's around. And from that peace, you shine. If something in this message gently touched your heart, we'd love to know. Feel free to leave a 1 in the comments, not to impress anyone, but simply to say, "This speaks to me." It helps us keep creating more heartfelt messages for those who still believe in tenderness, reflection, and the quiet strength of a well-lived life. And in Part 9, we'll explore how to turn this inner peace into a lasting, gentle legacy, one that lives on in the hearts of those you love. Part 9, Leave a Gentle Legacy, starting today. Dear friend, at this stage in life, we're no longer chasing fame or approval. We're asking quieter, deeper questions like, what do I want to leave behind? What will my life mean to the people I love? And here's the beautiful truth. Your legacy doesn't have to be made of wealth or property. It can be made of stories, of kindness, of the way you make others feel when they're around you. You don't need to be rich to leave something valuable. You can. Write a small book or a few pages of your life story. Share your wisdom with your grandchildren or even with a neighbor's child. Offer your time to a local charity or community group. Cook a meal for someone lonely. Volunteer to teach, sing, sew, garden, whatever brings you joy. These small acts may feel ordinary, but to someone else, they might be unforgettable. You can also simply live as an example. Be the one who forgives, who listens without judging, who makes space for laughter, even on a hard day. And most importantly, be gentle with yourself. Don't dwell on regrets. Don't keep replaying old mistakes. Your life is already a mosaic of love, effort, courage, and care, and you still have time to add new colors to it. So today ask yourself, what's one small thing I can do to pass along peace, hope, or joy? It could be sharing a story. It could be writing a note. It could simply be smiling at someone who needs it most. Part 10, Living in Fullness. You don't need more to feel complete. Dear friend, after more than 70 years of navigating responsibilities, worries, and life's ups and downs, you might have asked yourself,
when will I finally feel at peace?
Some people think they'll feel calm once they have more money. Others wait for their children to grow up or for the house to be in order before they feel happy. But somehow, the worries keep going. Because the truth is, fullness doesn't come from the outside, it begins within. A fulfilled person is someone who is no longer ruled by emotions, cravings, or feelings of lack. They know clearly what they want, and they're calm enough to let go of what hasn't arrived yet. We often get caught in 4 big worries: finances, relationships, health, and inner peace. The first 3 come from the outside. Only one, your inner world, is yours to truly guide. A fulfilled person is someone who is grateful for what they already have, honors themselves even if they're not perfect, looks back at what they've learned and lived, and realizes they're already full enough to give. You may have thought you have nothing to offer, but the truth is, your presence, a kind question, a smile, or a loving gaze, is already a gift. And when you feel full inside, you no longer need to wait for anything more. You simply begin living as if you already have it all. Now it's your turn. What is one thing you want to do, for yourself or for others, to feel more fulfilled? Leave a comment below and share it with us. Your story may be the gift someone else needed to receive today. Part 11, Emotional Maturity, the Priceless Gift After 70. Dear friends, after 70, we're no longer here to compete. We're not trying to prove how smart, how beautiful, or how right we are, because by now, wisdom has become a part of us. And you know what's more valuable than anything else? Emotional maturity. People often ask,
Can we still learn at this age?
We believe the answer is yes. Learning is for life. And many of the greatest lessons don't come from books. They come from everything we've lived through. Some of us have learned to forgive an old hurt. Some of us have learned to love ourselves without guilt. Some have learned to say no and still feel peace. These lessons can't be taught in school, but they're more precious than gold. Maturity isn't about how old we are. It's about knowing when to stay quiet, when to smile, when to hold on, and when to let go. We no longer need to win every argument. We just want to protect our peace. And if someone were to ask us,
What's the most beautiful thing about a woman after 70?
We'd say a calm presence, a soft heart, and eyes that see the world with compassion. What's one thing you've learned about yourself after 70? Share it with us in the comments. Your lesson might be the gentle reminder someone else needs today. And in part 12, we'll close this journey by talking about something truly special. As long as we're alive, it's never too late to begin again. Part 12, as long as you're alive, it's never too late to begin again. Dear friend, there's a quiet question many people carry after turning 70.
Is it too late to start something new?
The answer is never. We know someone who started learning to play the piano at 72. Another wrote her first book in her 80s. Some of us have learned how to love again with softer, wiser hearts. For much of life, we lived for responsibility, for our families, for what had to be done. But now, if there's still something our hearts long to try, to learn, to give, let's allow ourselves to begin. It doesn't have to be anything grand. Start small, with something that makes you feel alive. Write a letter to your younger self. Learn a new recipe. Take a morning walk and feel the sun on your skin. Share a story from your life with someone younger. Because the meaning of life isn't measured by how much you do, but by how deeply you live each day, with heart and presence. You still have time, not to race anyone, but to live truthfully, fully, as yourself, in your own way. How about us? Is there something we've always longed to do, but kept putting aside? Today, instead of just asking why not, let's take a quiet moment to acknowledge where we are, to honor how far we've come, and to welcome the path ahead with gentleness and courage. Share one thing you still wish to do, not to prove anything, but as a loving promise to yourself. I'm still here, and I can begin again. Because every new beginning is a quiet blessing we give to ourselves, one brave step at a time. Life after 70, wholeness, peace, and the power to begin again. These 12 parts weren't just advice, they were a mirror. A way to reflect on the road you've traveled and to realize something important. You don't need more to feel complete. What you truly need is to return to yourself. True beauty isn't about makeup or smooth skin. It's in the eyes that have cried and still know how to smile. Peace doesn't come from a bigger house or perfect plans. It comes from a heart that knows how to let go, how to be grateful, and how to live gently with what is. You don't have to do something grand. Sometimes just checking in on a friend, cooking a warm meal, or smiling at yourself in the mirror is a quiet act of love. And here's the most important part. No matter your age, you can always begin again. If you are alive, you still have time to grow, give, and leave a legacy of kindness. So let us ask you this. What is one thing you're grateful for right now? Share it in the comments. Your story might be the reminder someone else needs today. If you've stayed with us through all 12 parts, thank you. Thank you for giving your time, your heart, and your presence. We didn't create this video to teach you something you don't already know. We created it to help you remember what's always been inside you, your strength, your wisdom, your quiet beauty. After 70, you don't need to chase anything. You don't need to prove anything. You've already lived through so much. Now is the time to live with more ease, more truth, and more joy. There's no perfect way to age. There's only your way. And your way, done with kindness, courage, and a little curiosity, is more than enough. So if this video spoke to something in you, let us know you're here by commenting your age and one thing you're learning, unlearning, or embracing at this stage of life. We read every word, and your voice helps guide the next stories we create. Until then, take care of your heart, take care of those you love, and most of all, take care of the beautiful soul within you. We'll see you in the next video.